me start that one here. Like how Martin Luther King would have started. My dream, my dream, my dream, my dream, my dream. Tell you my dream is to live my dream. Hear the most I in me sleep when me sleep. Tell you my goal, my goal, my goal. All of my goal is to reach my goal. Live a happy life, put it on me headstone. Nobody no fi cry over me dead. Look at me now, when them treat me less than gold. Put me in a box like a rectangle. Oh oh, look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Oh, look at me now. I me just tell you my life. Where them used to go round me, go round. No one used to come round me. My life was so lonely. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. Me a take plane like JUTC. When you see me, it's on TV. Shows after shows after shows after shows. Tours after tours after tours after tours.
YC Liberty TV. Change you can trust.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of UIC Liberty TV. This is Joseph Patterson. And let me just say right off the bat, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to all of you, wherever you are around the world, here in Jamaica or somewhere else, US, Canada, somewhere in the Caribbean, somewhere in Europe. A happy welcome to all of you. Tonight, I wanted to make sure I leave you with a message. It's been a very busy last couple of weeks for us as we prepared for and delivered on our Christmas dinner fundraiser right here in Northeast St. Elizabeth on our farm. But tonight I just want to address all Jamaicans, wherever you are, and to share with you a message of hope, a message that speaks to not only where we are today, but where I would like to see us be in the future, and where together we can get if we, join hands and heart in the process. It has been a tremendous year, right across the world. We've seen a number of things. We've seen wars. We've seen presidents being challenged in terms of their elections, in terms of their legitimacy, in terms of whether or not they should be impeached and so on. We've seen prime ministers who have exercised dictatorial powers. We've seen questionable selections of speakers of the House. We've seen a crime rate that is tremendously out of control. We've seen inflation like we've never seen in recent years. We've seen fraudulent activities in our financial institutions. We've seen politicians being accused of illicit enrichment. We have seen a gradual takeover of our country in terms of foreign interest. We've seen many things. But at the end of the day, when it comes to this time of year, we pause and we reflect. It's a big Christmas tradition for many Jamaicans to go to church, to reflect upon the reason for the season, to look at, how they've spent the year and what they're looking forward to in the year to come. There are those who don't celebrate Christmas who also, must pause at this time of year because of the change in atmosphere as well. And so whether you celebrate Christmas or you say happy holidays or happy Hanukkah or anything, as long as you are Jamaican, you're important to me. As a matter of fact, all human beings are important to me, but because of my specific activities around the development of Jamaica as a example to the world, I am tonight addressing my fellow Jamaicans here at home and abroad. Those of you who are over there in Canada, where I've spent a tremendous amount of time, hats off to you for keeping up the battle against the cold. I know you'll find some way to stay warm tonight with family and friends eating, Christmas cake and drinking sorrel if possible, and having a nice Christmas dinner. Welcome, Lenward Duffus. I see you on. Good to see you. Yes, dinner was good. I had a very nice dinner with Mrs. Patterson. We had a lovely time with some community kids. Earlier today, we went out and did, a couple of things, but one of them was to have a little bit of Christmas spirit with some of the children in the Elam and Braes River community, which is pretty close to us here. We also spent some time with some people out on the E3 Road in Braes River who, were complaining about the lack of water. They have to go to a standpipe to get water. So I was helping them with a bit of that and talking about the problem and how we can resolve it. And just that kind of stuff. And then we settled down to a nice dinner. Welcome, Julia Chambers. I see you on as well. Merry Christmas to you. And yes, to all UIC members and yes, heart to heart and so on. Wonderful. So let me get into the message now and share with you what my thoughts are on this very special time of year for all of us. So bear with me as I share with you on this. So I want to kick off this conversation by saying, have you ever had a dream that was so pleasant and so real that when you woke up, you wanted to go right back to bed? You didn't want to get up. You wanted to keep on sleeping and living that dream because the dream was just so delicious. Worse than that, have you ever had a daydream where you're wide awake, but you're so wrapped up in that dream that you lost touch with the world around you? I have had such a dream. I have had that dream in various forms for many, many years now. My wife tells me that sometimes I actually talk in my sleep about the dream, believe it or not. Now, that's very scary. I mean, talking in your dream can be quite scary because you're unconsciously revealing, what's in your subconscious mind to those who are able to hear. So talking in your dream is no, light matter. But my wife listens to my dream, which I talk out in my sleep. So fortunately, though, my night as well as my daydream is about a world without poverty, believe it or not. I dream a lot about how to solve the problem of poverty. And I know that poverty is really a man-made phenomenon. It is not naturally occurring. It is something that, by the systems that we create, it results in more poverty than not. Of course, you can have moments in history in a person's life where you run out of money, you're broke. But poverty is more than that. Poverty is systemic. And if we're going to fix it, we have to fix the system. I dream of a world where we all enjoy true liberty and real prosperity. And those are very important words. True liberty, not fake liberty, not the pretense at liberty, not the situation where you get people to think that they are free, but they're actually not free. So I want true liberty. And I also want true prosperity, real prosperity, not a fake one. I want a world where we have unity in diversity, where we respect each other's life, where we respect each other's liberty, where we respect each other's property. I want a world where no one is coerced or forced to do anything except to respect the rights of others, to take full responsibility for their own actions and their own choices. Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream. It was a dream rooted in equality, freedom, and justice for all men, regardless of the color of our skins. My dream is rooted in the reality that after nearly 400 years of chattel slavery, and after another 106 years of fake freedom, from 1838 when they abolished slavery to 1944 when we got the supposed right to vote, plus another 80 years from then under what was called fake, well, I call it fake. They call it self-governance. I call it fake self-governance from 1944 to today, and fake independence from 1962 to today. So 400 years of slavery, 106 years of fake freedom, and 80 years of fake self-governance and independence. We are still not free to live our lives and fully enjoy the fruits of our labor without a master, visible or invisible, dictating and controlling our options, limiting our opportunities, or capping our fortunes. In my dreams, night or day, I see a first class Jamaica where all of us are free to do with our lives, our liberty, and our property as we see fit, provided, of course, we do not initiate force or fraud to infringe on the life, the liberty, or the property rights of others. My dream means your life, your liberty, and your property, as well as mine, are fully and unequivocally protected from criminals, elected and unelected, whether they're in uniform or civilians. My dream means a Jamaica that is safe, clean, orderly, where every community looks, smells, and feels like a tourist resort. Not for tourists, but for us, we the people, to enjoy and share with each other and visitors. In my dream, every Jamaican has a fixed address for easy connectivity and delivery. Not like we have now, where people live on areas and you can't find them, you have to just ask, and you have to go to a post office box to pick up their mails. I want a Jamaica where all of us have a fixed address. A Jamaica where we live in decent, modern, affordable homes with indoor plumbing, solar electricity, high-speed internet, biogas, cooking gas, water harvesting technology, and access to land for organic farming. Now, I have all of these things because I have worked hard outside of Jamaica, invested well, managed my finances effectively, and come back home and built this for myself. But many Jamaicans don't have this because our local system here denies many of us the ability to produce at the level we need to earn at the level we need to be able to afford the quality of life that we want. In my dream, every child receives the nutrition, the healthcare, education, and housing they need to succeed. This includes prenatal care to ensure that the child enters the world ready to learn at peak efficiency, peak performance, because we would have cared not just for the child, but for the parents, so that the father would produce quality sperm, the mother quality egg, the child would grow up in an environment mentally and physically, nutritious wise, that will prepare them to be brilliant scholars, brilliant engineers, brilliant creators. This will not happen by chance. We have to design these things to happen. In the same way that they design poverty to happen, we have to do the reverse. In my dream, the land, the labor, and the mental development that was stolen from our ancestors are returned to us by careful policy design and implementation. This includes making every Jamaican whose ancestors were slaves on this island property owners. So I am promising Jamaicans that elected as a government, a UIC government, we're going to make it a priority to make every Jamaican property owners. We're not giving you nothing, We're giving you what is yours. We're returning to you what is yours, what was stolen from your ancestors. So in my dream, no squatting a day again, as home ownership will be made easy and affordable to all with our non-profit housing development solution. Very similar to Singapore's, where 93% of their population are homeowners. We're going to bring Jamaica to 98% by design, because we can do it. We have the capacity right now to do it. If the two colonial parties wanted that to happen, that would happen right now in Jamaica. They won't do it because, corruption, but we will do it because we're anti-corrupt. We will ensure that the land is returned to you, to the people of Jamaica. The land will be free. In my dream, Jamaica will become the organic food capital of the world and the most famous community tourist resort on the planet. We will make every single community tourist friendly and allow the members of each community to fully earn and benefit from this approach to development. We believe the best approach to eliminating poverty is to empower people at the grassroots to achieve their full potential as entrepreneurs. Just like those who open their homes as Airbnb and bring people in and feed them and entertain them and show them around and they make a money from it. We want a government that doesn't seek to stop you, doesn't seek to interfere with you and prevent you from earning, but one which does everything possible to make it very easy and efficient for you to earn from your own genius and creativity. We don't want a welfare state. We want a well-done state. In my dream, government will be smaller and more user-friendly. We will remove all taxes and import duties and export duties, including property taxes, replacing them with a single 10% income tax and a 10% GCT sales tax. You will get to keep and spend 90% of your income as you see fit, instead of giving government 45 to 50% of your income to spend as they see fit. Our 10% GCT plan will be 100% dedicated to eliminating poverty by going directly, not around some circuitous route, but directly to the poor for proper nutrition, proper health care, proper education, and decent housing. As poverty declines, the difference that we save will go into a sovereign wealth fund to protect our environment and save for national emergencies such as major natural disasters. This is called forward thinking, so we're not dependent on handouts from other countries. We must become a Jamaica that can help other countries instead of always being a recipient, a dependent, a beggar state. That must go away. We can do better. We must do better. If Cuba, in over 60 years of embargo from the United States, can be able to help us when we need help, and we have been free from embargoes all those years, something is wrong. We have to fix it, and we're going to fix it under a UIC government. Our 10% GCT plan, which is less than the 15% now, will be used to ensure every child leaving high school without matriculating to a post-secondary program gets a full-time job as a productive member of society. This will starve the gangs and build a strong economy much faster than we're doing now. We call this the Youth Employment Solution, or Yes Jamaica program. We're saying yes to our young people. Jamaica is for you. Yes, we have a way to move you from being unemployed to being employed. Yes, we're going to ensure you are productive. Yes, we're going to give you a chance to be prosperous, to have a decent home, a decent job, and enjoy raising a decent family right here in Jamaica without having to run away as an economic refugee. This 10% GCT fund will also replace all the failed social programs with what we call workfare instead of welfare. What this means is that every able-bodied, unemployed adult who needs government assistance will be provided a regular, full or part-time job to add value to society commensurate with the value they receive from society. So instead of a welfare program, we just give people money to sit down, give people money that they become dependent. We're going to give them instead a job commensurate with their abilities and commensurate with what they receive in benefits, plus more, that they can in fact learn and grow and become independent of the state in terms of providing for themselves and their families. In my dream, we'll be a non-partisan constitutional Republic of Jamaica. Remember that. Non-partisan constitutional Republic of Jamaica. This means no more partisan divide, no more partisan distraction, and no more deception. This means the rule of law and the end of rampant political corruption by design. This means Jamaica will become the world's first true republic as the freest nation on earth, yet safe, clean, and orderly, where everyone can live, earn, and retire with dignity in a them own country. In my dream, this new system and new leadership will bring about what I call a new Jamaica. One Jamaica, united, strong, and free. A Jamaica with a president elected by the people instead of a party, or rather, instead of a prime minister elected by a party. The president will have two running mates, a general secretary and a treasury secretary. The first is for human resources and the second for financial management. This is to ensure you see what kind of people this president would seek to appoint or nominate when they're in office. So you get a feel for that. We'll have three vice presidents, elected separate from the president, one for each of the three counties, Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey. This is to ensure proper regional representation and checks and balances within the executive, the core executive. We're talking about a Jamaica with a 14-member elected Senate, one from each parish, instead of what we have now, 21 rubber stamp senators appointed by party. We don't want partisan senators. We want independent senators elected to represent and stand up for the interest of each of the 14 parishes. This to our governance system. This will ensure every parish gets the attention they deserve and the results they need. So you won't have a neglected St. Thomas anymore, or a forgotten Hanover, or a dejected Westmoreland, or a abandoned Garden Parish of St. Anne, or a St. Elizabeth breadbasket parish no longer producing the bread that we should. In this new Jamaica, MPs will have to live in the constituency they represent and will no longer be able to hide behind their party or buy votes with the help of the PSOJ oligarchy. That system will be over when you elect a UIC government. We will reform campaign financing to eliminate the control that the PSOJ oligarchs and their foreign masters have over our country by introducing a 100% publicly funded system. Under this system, the rich will have no monetary advantage and the poor will not be disadvantaged. We will also broaden the voter base by allowing all Jamaicans around the world to register and vote via absentee ballots. They will also be able to return to Jamaica 100% duty-free whenever they want, without having to give up their dual citizenship status. We're going to allow every Jamaican, once you retain your citizenship here in Jamaica, you must be able to run for office, having come back here to live, without giving up your dual citizenship. And I'll tell you why. You should not be punished for the bad governance of this country, which forced you to become an economic refugee in other countries. We as a nation failed you. We failed to provide a system that would allow you to achieve just as much here as you're achieving over there. And because of that, we must welcome you back home. We must spread out the red carpet. We must give you every opportunity, equal opportunity, to come here and add value back to your country without giving up the benefits and rights you have secured in some other country. This will help us to reduce the brain drain and increase our human capacity quickly. Right now, Jamaica's human capacity is gradually and very fast draining away. We must arrest this, and the best and easiest way, the quickest way to arrest it, is to open our arms wide to our fellow Jamaicans in Europe, in Africa, in other Caribbean countries, in North America, in Asia, wherever you are. Let us welcome our Jamaicans to get involved. And the first way is to make sure once you're a Jamaican and you maintain your citizenship, you can vote by absentee ballots. This will also reduce the vote buying effect, and it will also increase the thinking capacity of the voter base and not limit it to those who are just living on the margins and therefore unable to think clearly and broadly when they go to the ballot box to vote. We're going to ensure that government delivers on its mandate. We will not allow MPs or senators to serve as ministers of government. This is a conflict of interest, which spawns corruption and promotes incompetence. We will instead appoint the most competent, the most qualified Jamaican from anywhere in the world, here at home or abroad, bring you back here to serve as a subject matter expert, as a minister of government, because you're the best we can find. We're not going to force elected politicians to also serve as ministers, whether from the Senate or otherwise, because you need to separate them for proper checks and balances. So, we're going to have ministers, qualified ministers, competent ministers, who are not elected politicians. They will be nominated by the core executive council, made up of the president, the general secretary, the treasury secretary, and the 3 vice presidents. Those nominees will be vetted publicly by the independent Senate of 14 senators elected by parish. And then they'll make a recommendation to the House of Representatives, where all the MPs are, and they will vote yes or no. So we're going to have a transparent process, an accountable process, a process that gives us the best people for the job and pulls into our system the best and brightest Jamaicans here at home and from around the world. There's much more that I could say, but I believe you understand and you see the dream. It is captured in our vision statement, which goes something like this: a Jamaica that brings out the best in all its people. That is the vision. That is the sum total of the UIC's manifesto and our plans. To make this dream a reality, though, I need to win my seat in Northeast St. Elizabeth, first and foremost. And I must help my peers in Hanover, St. James, Westmoreland, Trelawney, Manchester, St. Mary, St. Anne, Clarendon, St. Catherine, St. Andrew, Kingston, St. Thomas, and Portland to do the same. Here in Northeast St. Elizabeth, everybody knows that I do not do handouts. I prefer to give people a hand up. I believe in empowering people with the knowledge, the skills, and the investment they need to learn and grow. And because of that, you're going to have, persons who will try to use this against me. But that's okay. I'm here to inform the minds and thoughts of our people and to elevate our people to think above the handout politics. We don't want to create an independence looking to us for free this or free that. So over the last few years, we created what we call the Community Capital Club, where we encourage citizens to save towards their healthcare, towards their children's education, towards building passive income, and saving for their retirement. They could then, from this pooled resource, borrow from the fund for productive enterprises. It was very successful here in my constituency. Over 300, some 400 families actually, benefited by borrowing small amounts. In total, we gave out $23 million in loans, small loans, to peanut farmers, dressmakers, tailors, shoe repair shop, small corner shops, all kinds of people. We've given out loans to all across the community. Man want to cut and burn coal, need startup capital. We provide that to him. And so we were able to, from the people, amass $23 million. What I provided was the organizational skills, the managerial skills, the financial skills, and I also injected my own capital, and we built. Unfortunately, new regulations were brought in by the government, which were designed to monopolize the microfinancing industry. And so we had to change. We had to revamp the program. So today, I'll be relaunching a new and vastly improved Community Capital Club program under our flagship Jamaica Upliftment Monetary Program, or JUMP. That's what we have called our financial program to help at the grassroots level to build our people up. Here's how it works. Any member of my constituency decides to form a community capital club in their community, and they get 11 other persons to join them for a group of 12. Each club member contributes $5,000 to the club for a total of $60,000 to start a fund. from which only the members of the club can borrow. We provide the structure, the rules, the legal documents, as well as a senior sponsor who will contribute a matching amount of 60,000 to the club to fund the members, to match the members' contribution, bringing the total to 120,000. Junior sponsors, such as persons in the diaspora, may join a club and contribute matching funds as well. This will increase the capacity of the club and the projects they can fund. Each member of the fund may borrow up to 25% or $30,000 at the low end for any legal micro business venture, such as raising chickens or doing cash crops. Each member must get a turn at borrowing from the fund in each of the loan cycles before any other member gets a second, third, or fourth loan from the fund. A small interest is charged on each loan, of which 50% of this interest earned by the club goes back to the club to fund various projects that actually that 50% goes to the members. Each of the members who have contributed, the interest goes back to them and goes into their own little account and make it bigger. The next 25% of the club's interest goes to community activities such as cleanup, beautification, recycling projects, and so on. The next 15% goes to the key officers of the club, the chairman, the secretary, and the treasurer, who has to do all the managing of the club's affairs, reconcile the accounts, plan each meeting, and so on. The next 10% of the club's interest goes to the club sponsors so that they can supervise, build the capacity of the club, teach, coach, guide, and provide leadership to help the members to become stronger in terms of their financial literacy, their financial management, their forecasting, their operational management skills, all the things they need to grow. Now, this is important because many of the people in, let's say, communities like where I am in Northeast St. Elizabeth, many of them are just, farming families who, have suffered from an imbalance in their education. And this is going to give them strong economic and managerial tools by practical training, physically managing money, and being taught on the job how to account for funds, how to plan their investment projects, and how to be accountable in the process to each other. As the organizer of a club, you may be the first chairman or the secretary or the treasurer, but training will be provided. That's my job, to make sure you have the proper training to ensure you know exactly how to run a club in your local community. All loans must be approved by all 12 members of the club and the senior sponsor before they're advanced to any club member. This is key. It ensures accountability, it ensures transparency, and it means every member is a stakeholder in any loan given to any other member. The books of accounts of the individual members and the club's accounting records must be reconciled every week at each club meeting, and reported as such to the senior sponsor and the UIC office. Again, a key control mechanism and accountability mechanism. All funds must be lodged or deposited to an approved account and dispersed from the same. There must be no less than 2 signing officers to ensure accountability and transparency. This community capital club structure brings people together. It teaches group economics, financial literacy, while educating members on good governance and how to bring about positive change in their own lives, as well as the life of their community and the development of their country. This is really what the UIC is about: unity, liberty, and empowerment. We will unite the people around good governance, which is the key to our full liberation as a nation. And to enjoy true prosperity as a liberated people, we must empower ourselves with the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding that comes from true education. The kind of education that takes us out of the darkness of ignorance into the light of self-reliance, personal responsibility, and prosperity that comes not from corruption, but from production. Let us join hands. Join hands with me in the UIC for this unity, for this liberty, and for this kind of empowerment. This is the kind of reality we want to achieve in Jamaica, one which comes from sensible, sane, honest, transparent, productive leadership. That's how we create the Jamaica we want, by having a new system, new leadership for a new Jamaica. So on that note, I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a happy holidays. And I hope you find this message quite refreshing and quite useful. I won't go before taking a look at your comments and question. Monica Richards says law is the highest. Romaine Blair says beautiful. Is there a grace period for the loan? Oh yes, all loans have a regular standard period, and there's a late fee for that as well. Kirk says, good night, Sir Patterson. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you as well, my friend. Good to see you on. And I see Romaine says the two parties will fight to keep the colonial structure. Beware, be ready to fight back. Absolutely. And we are going to fight back, and we are fighting back. And that fight begins with us coming together and supporting the UIC to achieve what we want. Peace and blessings, Scotty. Same to you. Good night, Daily Observer. He says Joseph L. Patterson, the real JLP. Interesting. But anyways, again, a wonderful Merry Christmas to you all. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. I wish for you a prosperous new year when it comes. And let's remember, we're working together to achieve one Jamaica because we're stronger together. Blessings. Stay well. All the best. Happy holidays. Big up yourself, Mr. McLean. Good to see you on as well. Desmond Gordon, good to see you on as well. Have a good night, everyone. Take care until next time. All the best. Bye-bye.